2步退后，跳，拍手，退后，跳起来。这边的家人，双手借给
我还是看到他们还是录影带嘛，对不对？
继续。
还是。OK。
很棒哦。好，接着踏饼来，踏饼。
OK。
来，准备将上手。
Good day。
开合。到洒满阳光的地方，炙热的沙滩让加油加油，动起来动起来，画圈。你会在我身边轻轻唱那首我最爱的公郎，还有哦，那模样让我感觉你会发狂。准备拍手，向前走2步，来。最后2步，跳起来！好，非常感恩所有现在在线上的家人，每个礼拜3早上传法随序。
Thanks to everyone on the line.
现在全体请
You are joining the
高雄线上
online reading club. Please stand up, put your palms together, bow to the Buddha and Master, 3 bows. Second bow, third bow.
合掌恭诵，传承法脉，心相系。
Let's recite this together. Let's pass down the Dharma lineage, and we keep our hearts together. We want to spread the Tzu lineage, and we keep our mind determined. We would appreciate this connections together. Let's raise our right hand and chant this. Go, 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 forward, forward, forward. Go, 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 and do, do, do. Let's read and listen to the Dharma, and read and listen to the Dharma. We will be more diligent and be close to Master's heart. If you are already close to Master's heart, you can sit down and let's read this poem together.
而且现在是2019年的冬之卷，即将进入2020年的春之卷了哈，所以希望我们
Today we're going to read Master's Footprints, December. We are passing the Dharma lineage together, and we are recruiting talents. And we are diligent, and we are not latent. Let's say hi to family members all over the world. Hi. Good day, everyone. Pass the Dharma village and recruit talents. Let's do the online reading together. Hi, everyone. Good day, everyone. And we are all enlightened people, and we are a group to pass the Dharma lineage. I'm sorry.
这一群人上人有给我们一个名字，请大家一起说一下，这个名字叫做什么？觉有情。
This is our group name. Means we are enlightened, we have compassion, and we are doing this together. We are all people to pass the Dharma lineage. And here's a slide about Master's ideal talents. They are modest and they are not arrogant. They are pure and have self-respect, and they have good virtues. They are unselfish, and they are treating everyone equally with love. They have open mind and they can control their temper. They work hard, but they don't fight with anyone. They have good manners, and they can hold themselves well. They have virtue, they have knowledge, and they are pure. When we have this kind of people, then Master is really relieved because she has followers. So we hope everyone is the ideal talent in Master's mind. So let's put our palms on our hearts and say, we are Master's ideal talent together, okay? Let's do it together. Master, please be relieved. We are your ideal talents to pass the Dharma village. And Master said, great, thumbs up. And thank you. Oh, talk to your neighbor. Thank you for reading together with me. And please invite all your friends and family members to come to join this reading group together. Today, we're reading December 9th to December 15th of 2019, Master's Footprint. And here is a poem saying, we are encouraging one another to talk about Tzu Ji, and we also get together to listen to the Dharma with very dedicated mind. Because Master says, even though Taiwan started Tzu Ji, but many people in Taiwan are still have some misunderstandings. And not because Tzu Ji family members are not doing enough, but because we haven't been talking enough. So let's try to share the good news with everyone. We need to take every opportunity to share the good things we do and say good words. This way, the good Dharma can continue on and on forever. We are talking about Dharma and Tzu Ji not because we are trying to show off. We just want to spread the great love all over the world. So if you are able to do it, please contribute yourself to spread the good message and the good Dharma and the great love. So snap your fingers 3 times. Every time is higher than the other. Say, love Master, you will do Tzu Ji. Let's go together. Love Master, you will do Tzu Ji. Love Master, do Tzu Ji. Love Master, do Tzu Ji. Yes. Only beauty can be. We only have beauty coming out from hard work. Not. Let's go reading and encourage one another. And we're grateful that we have multiple language English interpreters, because Master also likes to see this good news and great love to be spread all over the world. Today, we have the second team, the American A team, 7 people, translating for you today. And these are the pictures of the 7 interpreters. These 7 volunteers are doing the interpretation today. Last week, we had 54 messages last week, so please leave your comments and messages, because that's encouraging to us to do good work for you. See, when we have good response and feedback from the line, we are very grateful to you. So 244 messages last week, 40 shares, and most feedbacks are from family members in China, and Sister Jenna Yao gave us the most messages. So please take your iPhone or computer and start typing your feedback and messages to us. Thank you, because that's encouraging the whole team, and also you can show your feelings and share that with everyone. Here are the 55 messages from Sister Janet Yao in Northern California. She also relays all messages from China real time. And here are the feedbacks about the different programs. And this is comments acknowledging the wonderful job of the Kaohsiung interpreting team. And here are comments about Sister Yan Yiping, the guided reading about Master's footprints. And Canada, Sister Emily is talking about environmental protection has been 30 years, and best wishes. Here are comments about Sister Zhang Xiuling's presentation last week. And you can see all the hearts and appreciations there. And later, we also have Sister Xiuling's program. And these are comments about Taichung Tzu Hospital's Brother Chen, Dr. Chen, and people appreciate his coming to this program to share his love and his expertise and his experiences with all. And these are comments about Sister Wu Huixian in Hangzhou, China. And people filled with positive energy from listening to Sister Wu's program. And like the sister, 73-year-old sister in the film, who was still working so hard, is a role model for people. And these are comments about the Tainan entrepreneurs team. And you can see all the prayers and the good comments and the feelings. And the entrepreneurs showed us their belief and their actions. And these are comments about Sister Lu Jiafen. And they say Sister Jiafen is a wonderful teacher who added points to students. It's a pun. Okay. Malaysia family members, they are saying their appreciation about the Tainan entrepreneurs. And these are comments from Canada family members. We appreciate that. And these are from American family members. And these are comments from Japan and Taiwan. We really appreciate your comments. Please keep sending these comments and feedback to us in order for us to do better, to serve everyone better. And these are messages from Chinese family members and relayed to us by Sister Janet Yang. And we appreciate Sister Yang Yan's comment. And Sister Yang Yan had a nice poem here to say her appreciation. And more comments from Chinese family members. Even though we cannot read every one of them, but we are posting this to all the line groups. You can read them in the line group of this reading online club. And they appreciate the teacher Ming's dedication, and they appreciate Brother Hu's presentation. Here, Brother Hu and his wife. More comments from Chinese family members. Brother Li from Shijiazhuang, Hebei, had a poem here and say, Kaohsiung Reading Club is a role model for all of us to follow. We appreciate your comments, really, really. And these are English comments on our English live broadcast. So please keep on sending them. And I know Sister Effie. I know Effie is still online right now, so please keep your comments coming. We appreciate them very much. We appreciate every time we have good topics in this program. Thank you, Sister Xiumei. I appreciate all people who gave us feedback. And Brother Dr. Deng from Singapore is one of the English interpretation team members. He also gives us feedback. And these are positive feedback about the Vice Superintendent Zhou. And these are the flyers about our program. And these are snapshots of Brother Zhou, Dr. Zhou's presentation. These are his PPT from last week. And he was very happy to see people, and he was dancing with folks last week. And you can see his big smile there. And so the pulse of Tzu Chi is whatever Master tells us, we do as accordingly. And Dr. Zheng was especially happy to see Brother Hong and Sister Mei Li. And so he was very happy to find out they are the team members of this Kaohsiung Reading Club. Yeah, so please send us your feedback if you are inspired, interested, or moved by anything in this program. Here is feedback from Ohio, Sister Sui Jing. And the poems feedback about the program last week. And these are people, Sister Qiling from the U.S., and the brother. When Sister Qiling was going to be online last week, she told her friend about this program, and her friend is doing kidney dialysis. And her friend said, do you know, actually every time when I do kidney dialysis, I turn on this program and watch the Kaohsiung Reading Club every week. We are grateful to family members from Xi'an for this feedback right here. And Chongqing cook brother, and he's very interested in promoting vegetarianism. And more. Yeah, we want to appreciate sisters and brothers from Xi'an and community members. They join brothers and sisters in Xi'an to listen to join this reading club. More feedback from Xi'an brothers and sisters and community members. So we want to diligently read Master's footprints with respect, and we have the guided reading club to share with us the Dharma, the old Dharma, and the new knowledge. So today's sharer is Sister Chen Ciguan. Good day, everyone. I'm Chen Ciguan. Today, we're going to read 2019, December.
电子书的602页里面呢，上人提到，慈济教育是终身教育，是遍布社区的人间大学。那这一路走来，慈济在台湾付出很多，也受了一些委屈，但是上人依然教导我们要用长情大爱来守护大地人间。大地已经受到伤害了，所以呢，上人要我们所有的人一起来做环保。
So, Master says, 慈济 is a lifetime education from young to old, a university spread all over the communities. 慈济 has accomplished a lot in environmental protection. Master Zheng Yan said, 慈济 has contributed in Taiwan and was wronged a lot. However, Tzu Chi folks can tolerate any situations, continuously use great love to protect the world. Now our Mother Earth is damaged. And you can see in 1993, the recycle rate in Taiwan was only 70%. We have also gone through garbage cans all over the streets and smells terribly. Taiwan at that time was called Garbage Island. Let's review this history together. In 1990, Taiwan has a GNP of a lot. However, they created a lot of garbages too. And you can see all the garbages there, 2,100 tons. And 1990 is the peak of Taiwan. Economical growth is also the worst case for garbage protection. Garbage problem is a crisis at that time, and it's a shame for Taiwan at that time. This is the EPA policy change over the history. And it's full of blood and tears about the history. In 73, it's just buried. And 80, that's the Taiwanese 80, that's 1990, it's just to burn.
今年慈济推行环保已经满30年了。上人说，如果30年我们没有行动的话，就不会有今天的成果。
慈济 has been promoting environmental protection for 30 years. 1,000 miles of trip starts with one footstep. How do we work out the first step? In 1988, the EPA established policies and rules about recycling. And we use the recycled material sale to pay for the needed expenses. Yeah. Yeah, we can step by step reduce the garbage by 75%. And this is Master giving a talk in 1990, August, talking to 20,000 people in Xining Science Technology College. She encouraged everyone to use the clapping hands to do environmental protection, to remove the garbages left there. And from then on, you can see bodhisattvas doing recycling all over the place and trying to realize creating a pure land in the human world. Here's the Buddhas of the human beings are very stubborn. It's very difficult to change their habits. So that year, the stock market was dropping down very low, and even though the economy was not doing well, but the garbage was not reducing. At that time, every person produced from 0.79 kilograms to 1.9 kilograms. In 1992, Zhou, a city in northern China, started a fight because of fighting for where to put the garbages, and all the garbages are all over the streets. Here's a quote from Menses. Two things are most difficult. One is to ask people to take money out from their pockets. The other thing is to put new ideas to someone's heads. So Menses, second to Confucius, says, heaven created people for people who had foresight to enlighten people without the foresight. And Master said, if we want to save the world, we need to save people's hearts first. If we want to change the earth, we need to change people's mind first. So 1990, Master encouraged people to use clapping hands to do environmental protection. 92, we want to reserve a pure land on earth. In 2010, we have modern youths want to promote vegetarianism in 19. Also, those are the steps we did. And Tzu Chi education is not just within school, it's in the community universities. And these are all the Tzu Chi volunteers and all over Taiwan. And here is a foreigner, Daniel Flash. He has an excellent Facebook site. You can take a look. He lived in Taiwan for many years, and he learned how to recycle from the Taiwanese practice. And he took a lot of environmental protection films. Here's one. Now you can see the English subtitles, so I don't need to translate. Enjoy. 因为我来到台湾已经10几年，太习惯分塑胶、分箱子、分食物等等。可是发现这边的政府他没有在分类，然后当然觉得太奇怪了。Yeah, when he left Taiwan and returned home, he was shocked to see all the garbages all over there. And yeah, he remembered when he just arrived in Taiwan, he didn't know. But now he wants to do it in this city to help the world. Recycling not only helping the city, but also help those homeless people who are picking something they can sell from the garbage to make some money. So today he's going to change his clothes to clean all those garbages in the garbage cans. And he's also posting the sign to encourage people to separate the garbages in order for them to be used by people. See, look, a foreigner coming to Taiwan who appreciate the great ideas, and he brought us back home and improved his hometown. So it's like one seed has grown to many, to thousands. Here's a sutra from Infinite Meanings. The wonderful great vehicle can nourish all beings, and so one can create infinite. So thank you. This teacher is able to condense all her sharing in 10 minutes. Yeah. See, our team started when we didn't know how to make any notes or PPT. Now we can do all these. So everyone learned. As Master said, we learn by doing, and then we enlighten by learning. So Master talked so much about environmental protection. That's why the sharers talked a lot about environmental protection. Yeah, that's applaud to show our appreciation. Actually, Taiwan's success story was published in Smithsonian Magazine. You can look it up, Smithsonian Magazine. See, here's Master's reminder about educate about environmental protection. And here's a talk about the scientific property about Buddhism. Oh, this brother, this has made that blessing and wisdom table and chair. Can you see? It's all made from recycled stuff. The one with a white top, the blue plastic thing, it's recycled material. He's not only a scientist and technologist, but also an art collector. And here we want to show our appreciation to Tainan government and the 5-star hotel and all these businesses who are supporting recycling materials in the 5-star hotel. Look at the floors. They use all these decks, floors are made from recycled materials. And medicine container or CD container, they're all made from PS material, from recycled materials. This is 净丝 wood from recycle. Every time you use 1 ton of the 净丝 wood, you save 30-year-old trees from being cut. And this 5-star hotel also use recycled toilet papers. And the guests really appreciate the convenience and the value of recycled toilet papers. So we really need to do recycling from the origin, and we can protect our Mother Earth and the world. Let's applaud to these businesses. And also, every one of us could start using recycled toilet papers and all recycled materials and try to eliminate overuse from the origin. And these are the 净丝 recycled toilet. Even though they are made from recycled materials, they are very soft. You would feel very good. Next unit is about we're going to call our family members in different places. And guess who we're going to call? We're going to call Turkey volunteers. You can see from our old programs. And do you still remember our touching moments when we saw Brother Hu? Okay.
Yeah.
Brother Victor, are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Recently, if you have followed Great Love, this is a 500 years transcript Ulan Bible to Zhou. This is not today's topic. We have a chance to talk about it in the future. The brotherhood have the chance to go to the legislature yuan to share what he has done in Syria, in Turkey, for the Syrian refugee. Sister Zhou said we just need to persist what we are doing. So Suji has done very good things for the society. We should understand that. So at the remote place, Suji's love can spread over there. All these news will send to the group. Everybody can see this video. 1825 days. It's a continuous effort. So it's so touching. So everybody want to be the volunteer to help. He got a chance to get into the dentistry school. This young man thought maybe he doesn't have a chance when he becomes a refugee. He never thought he has a chance to go to the college to study the dentistry. This high school student Najiwa lost her foot. Her story is very touching, very encouraging. Every place, every touching story. This is the love beyond the nationality. Master Zhenyan said, love in the world, and there's a chance for peace. With the peace, and there is a hope. Appreciate Master Zhenyan's. This school, when grand opening, A lot of senior volunteers go there to celebrate the grand opening for the international school in Istanbul for the Syrian refugee children. So the children are very touching. They draw a picture and a speech, short speech, to show their appreciation. So they can not only study, they can get the help for their family's daily living from Zhiji. So you can see in the small student, they really appreciate what they got from Zhiji. In the Zhiji cultivation for the volunteer, Brother Hu come back to share what he has done at this school in Istanbul for the Syrian refugee children. So there is a slogan. They want to help the people who help them. They raise the money, about 50,000 New Taiwan dollar, to help the disaster happen in Taiwan. So it's a first response in the school in Istanbul. The Syrian children donate money to help with Taiwan's disaster. Brother Hu and Sister Zhou say hello to the audience. Is a greeting to Master Zhen Yan, Master in the boat, and all the volunteers in the world. So can I start right now? Brother Hu said. My brothers and sisters, in 2014, in Istanbul, in Turkey, we found the refugee children is looking for food beside the garbage can. So we talked with Zhou, Brother Zhou. So we start investigate the needs for those refugee family. We provide them blanket and rice to help them. But some refugees, they bring the blanket and the rice to us. They want to sell it to us. And Brother Hu said, why do you want to do that? Because those parents said, because their children cannot study. If you have money to give us, I would rather to let our children go to school. From then on, we go to the street to find out there are a lot of refugee children. They cannot go to school. That's the age for their education. But they are just wandering on the street of Istanbul, just selling water, some food. So Sister Zhou and I, Brother Hu, said they start investigating those children who really needs to go to school. They wish they can all go to school like ordinary children go to school. So they become a project. They report to Zhiji headquarters. So it's hard to explain. They were distributing the blanket, and the second day, the volunteer want to do education. So within 3 weeks, we visit 108 family We find 200 children, they need education. They build a name list, report to Tzuji headquarters. According to Tzuji's foundation's procedure. So we start helping those children. So start the school. The name of Manahai is the spring in the desert. We finally can establish the school, let those children go to school. So the Turkish government, like the school, Brotherhood has established, and the government want to work with the United Nations to adopt the system Brotherhood has established. So this concept has been adopted by Turkish government and the United Nations. So with this method, there are more than 400,000 children in Istanbul can go to school. So when 2015, Brotherhood, they go back to report Master Zheng Yan. Why don't they go to school? Because they need to work. Those children need to work in Istanbul. So a lot of shoe factory use the low wage to hire those children to work there. So those children needs to work 13 hours per day, only 13 minutes to go to toilet. So gradually expand to 8 schools and finally start the Manahai International School. Right now we have 3,000 students. So look at, we are looking for those 400 students one by one on the street. Those children will grow up 20 years later. They will be a capable person. So they will remember some people did help them with blue shirt and white trousers. So they can help other people too. But we find we don't need to wait 20 years. When Taiwan has some earthquake, those children in school, they start raising money to send to Taiwan to help earthquake that happened at Hualien. So finally, we can help those children. They have a better future. My time is up. So I really hope everybody's help for those children. Really appreciate the Brotherhood and the Sister Zhou's time. We have a never-ending, touching story to be heard. Love is always there. Let's give them a big hand of applause.
在这个当下，我要跟你们回应一下直播这一边哈，就是我们的 Emily， 就是加拿大家联会馆您说云上学堂周周散播正能量，层次人人具足大力量。好，洪凯，谢谢北加洪凯，大家好 ，from the 北加州哈，子琳你在台北松山，同时呢就在
California，
时间谢谢跟大家问好，在北加州的
Brother 洪凯，
南比尔非常的感恩。还有我们的 Michael，
谢谢你。Janet，
然后呢，马来西亚
is in Northern California。
姐也问候大家，她希望这样的爱是可以延续的。感恩。
Lampan Malaysia， she said life can continue。
家人，谢谢你们。多伦多的慈杰师姐，感恩。
Principal Liang Jun from Canada say hello. Jen and Sijin said the sister from Fuding is have a whole room of volunteer watching the show. Lim said the love from Shiji volunteer in the world is unlimited. There are a lot of talent people in Beijing. They all Brother Li Ping also got very good talent. Brother Li Ping already have the short verse written from Shijiazhuang.
So first, let's take a look at this is the entrepreneur retreat in Taipei when masters last visited. You can see all these entrepreneurs ever since they started. They have brought in their friends, a lot of their co-workers, and at the same time, they're also bringing the entrepreneurs in Guangzhong. What they have all started. It started on what? They started on their 72nd retreat. And everyone's showing themselves with full of energy. And let's take a little clip here. And these are all the new young volunteers. So you can see people shed their tears at the opening ceremony. So through the interactions of the younger volunteers, we have broke the ice among the entrepreneurs that came from different areas. And through different types of music, we promoted the interactions. So have you ever heard that voice in the background? That was me. Now, to have this opportunity, for this retreat, I was very grateful for the next sharer. Without their leading by example, how could we learn from them? So I'd like to share my appreciation for them. And you can see from this picture, so we all know that when the event meets a rainstorm, what's going to happen? We see that the Tzu volunteers, our brothers and sisters, have created a pathway with umbrellas. Now for our next sharers, it must be a familiar sight because hosting so many different entrepreneur retreats, they must have the opportunity to get rained on. And for this song, this song, we dedicate that to you, because you probably won't remember that about 20 years ago, the first time I joined the retreat. During that time, it rained. And there's this one umbrella that came over me. You must not remember, probably don't remember, but I do, because that umbrella came from you. And at that time, I had a thought that a successful businessman like Brother Wang Lingyi was actually covering me with the umbrella. I kept that memory within me, and I always thought that I probably won't have the opportunity to express my gratitude because we're so far apart. But it was unexpected that today you're able to come and can share with us. And I have the opportunity to show my appreciation of what you have done for me 20 years ago. So I'd like to invite everyone who are in the Kaohsiung Study Club. Please join me and sing the song. Now I heard that Brother Lingyi can sing as well. Unfortunately, sister, his wife couldn't make it today, but she has taught us a lot during that time as well. Now, for everything you have done for us, maybe I wasn't able to express my appreciation at that time, but now I'd like to let you know how much we appreciated you. And for everyone online, if you know this song, you can join us as well. So following, let's cherish this opportunity to hear from Brother Lingyi how he was able to join us today. Let's give him a round of applause. I'm sorry, I feel embarrassed, but I'm really emotional. First, I would like to share my gratitude for Teacher Meiyun and to bring back the memory from 20 years ago as if it was just a couple of days ago. Dear Master, the Bo Masters, and all the brothers and sisters, I share my greetings. Today, as I was standing here and to share with you my experience, I was pretty puzzled. Every time I hold a microphone, I have very conflicting emotions because number one, I'm also very nervous because of the failure of a family business has caused a lot of turmoil in the society, as well as thousands of employees losing their jobs. But with Master and the Abode and also your brothers and sisters, their encouragement with a change of thought have transformed my perspective and brought up my desire to challenge myself. It was 2007 that the family business failed. And after 11 years of litigation and was sentenced to 11 and a half years of sentence, I was joined the prison. I call it my time as studying abroad. In 2018, so I was sentenced in January 11th of 2007 without any preparation. I was taken away and went to study abroad. And then after a couple of years, I was taken out. I called that my master's degree. So in 2018, January, I got my parole. I can finally go home. So now as a parolee, I needed 3 more years to get my graduation diploma. So for the next 3 years, I can't make any mistakes, because if I do, I have to go back to my study abroad. So even now, even as I'm crossing the street, I'm extra careful and not to jaywalk, because I'm afraid that if someone caught me on camera, then it's a whole different story. Now, because I'm very nervous, now during the time I was studying, I have seen some very dark aspects of human lives. The place I live is less than 30 square meters, but all in all, about 120 to 130 people. During the day, it's a factory, and at nighttime is where we sleep. Everyone, on average, gets about 5 to 6, a width about 5 to 6 palms, about 45 to 60 centimeters. It's a very crowded space and also very hot during the summer. So if it's 35 degrees Celsius outside, it's going to be about 38 indoors. So a lot of our colleagues had skin problems. Now, the oldest resident was 85 years old. The youngest was about 22. And just like the UN, we have students from 9 different countries. Out of 12 of them, they had the life sentence. So I call the where we are, the old people factory. And from them, I can see a lot of karma cycles. Let me share with you that one of them was kidnapping and leading to the death of the hostage. Now, he couldn't sleep at all. Every night, he had nightmares. And the second one was brought in by murder. Both of them couldn't sleep at night. They have to take medicine to go to sleep. Now, because he's a little older, he wanted to graduate early. So he put a plastic bag over his head. Fortunately, he was discovered and he was rescued. But a couple months later, he tried again and succeeded. The third person was a lieutenant from Hong Kong. After retirement, he smuggled drugs to Taiwan and was sentenced to death. But as the judge heard that while he was a lieutenant, he donated his kidney to one of his colleagues. So because of that, his death sentence was changed into a life sentence. So during that time, and about a week before I was put into custody, I was in the Jingsi boat to see Master, and ask her for my extended leave of absence. Master had told me two things. Number one, to take care of my body, and number two, to have a restful night, and also share the stories in the Water Repentance Sutra. She mentioned that the karma relationship between me and my father is coming to an end. So I shouldn't be worrying about that. So I brought a bag full of Ziji Jingsi publications to serve my time. With the encouragement of the master, I tried to take care of myself. So before I was put into custody, I was about 75 kilograms. I weighed 75 kilograms and had to take 5 different medicines to lower my blood pressure and cholesterol. Upon my graduation, I dropped down to 65 kilograms and not needing any of the medication. Unfortunately, the only unfortunate incident was my left eye when I had a viral infection. And because of the delay during for medical clearance for a procedure, it took about 2 months, I lost sight in my left eye. So now whenever I see someone, I have to see them from my right. But before that, while I still have my vision, I took the opportunity to read the Ziji monthly publications, magazines, Master's Footprints, and also the books. I also made a lot of notes. Every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:50, I was listening to the Ziji World radio broadcast. I was hearing the very comforting voice of Master and teaching. So every day I lived a fulfilling life, fulfilling and joyful life. And through the books, I also shared with my fellow colleagues. And for those who would like to hear it, I can share my stories with them. Among them, there were 3 of them I'd like to share as examples. The first one was one from Singapore. He was sentenced for life. He has been there for 19 years. For the first couple of years, he was in a room by himself, and he discovered a very old magazine. It was a Ziji magazine. And after flipping through them, he came into agreement with a lot of the ideas of Master. So as I was sharing, he was in agreement, and he said if he had the opportunity to go back to Singapore, he's going to be a volunteer as well as a willful body donor. So I shared with him the address of the Singapore branch, Ziji Singapore office. And told him that if you have the opportunity to go, tell the volunteers there what you're there for. I believe that they will try to help you. The second person was a young colleague. He said that when he got out of there, he wanted to be a environmental protection volunteer. So my wife actually helped him to get into one of the recycling stations. And a couple of years later, he went into training and ended up to be certified. He wrote back to me saying that his parents in Taichung has been volunteers for decades. And the third young person his aunt was a commissioner in the New Taipei City area. For a while, he didn't think that his mother as a volunteer is meaningless. But when I share with him that as a volunteers that you are giving without expecting anything in return, and I told him that what your mom was doing it's all merit that will go towards you, so that you have a healthy body, and when you get opportunity, you can relive your life. So when his family came to visit him during the visitation hours, he shared with his mother that his desire to be a volunteer. His mom was very happy. All these stories, all these experiences that happen in our lives on a daily basis. So oftentimes I would think that my life, I had so many desires and greed. I mean, ever since I was young, after graduating from schools, I've joined the family business. And through 32 years in the business field, I grew my family business from a medium-sized food supplier in 1973, grew into 6 openly traded companies in 2007. The total asset was in billions, with nearly 10,000 employees. It expanded into multiple fields, from food, from aquaculture, and I feel like as a decathlon, I have done everything. I have business in all sorts of different fields. So during that time, I spent a lot of time reading professional career-oriented books, so that I could have meaningful meetings with the employees. So I oftentimes say that I'm such a homebody in Taipei, because all the sites around Taipei I've never been. I spend most of my time at home reading. Now, after expanding so much, in 1990, during that time, economy was great, so business was booming. And we had a very fortunate, very wealthy life. But my father had a very strong desire to expand onto the political platform. And for example, I'm doing business, we're collecting nickels and dimes, but when there's elections, he was spending dollars. So and also, whenever there's an opportunity to expand, he wanted to invest as well. Now, because at that time we had a lot of assets, a lot of banks were eyeing us to borrow from them. So, in accordance with the government's policies, we have borrowed a lot of money and to expand our business. But in the year 2000, and around 1999 to 2000, two incidents happened. The first was September 21st earthquake, and second was a political turnover. So it has caused a drop in the stock market, and as a result, a lot of businesses, a lot of enterprises was declared bankrupt. Now, my father didn't want to end or sell the money-making business, so he missed a lot of opportunities to transform. In 2007, when we filed for restructuring, there were also political factors involved and leading to a lot of turmoil in the society, and affected a lot of our families, friends, as well as employees, nearly 100 of us. I feel like it's almost like in the feudal times when the whole family was affected. For example, one night around 11 o'clock at night, our CFO called me and asked me to go to the bank tomorrow morning go to the bank to ask for more money. So we got to the bank in the morning and we got upstairs. As soon as we got in, the secretary said that we didn't have an appointment, so they asked us to wait. And we waited till about noon. The manager finally came out and talked to us and asked us that we have to pay them back. After negotiation, we're able to cut that down, but in order to pay these loans back, I have to move a lot of our assets from one to another to pay it. And in order to do that, we needed the executive board's approval. So even though these people couldn't make it, they still signed it, and everyone who had their signature was named in the lawsuit. So at court, when I share with the judge that because of the business that caused a lot of people their jobs, their livelihood, including my elderly mom, my mother-in-law, and my wife, even though they were just a board member, a name only, they were still named in the suit. So I was hoping for the judge to let them out of the judgment and only focus on me. Fortunately, a lot of them didn't need to serve a sentence. But after being in litigation for more than a decade, they suffered greatly. They suffered a lot of mental pressure. Like my wife, she needed about 10 different kind of medications to fall asleep at night. Now, ever since I got home, she has decreased to about 7 and it's gotten a lot better. But we're making positive progress. Now, during this time, some people ask me that I used to live a wonderful life, having good meals, wearing good clothes. Now it must be very difficult, right? And I would answer him that life is just like a roller cycle. I'm just back to where I started from. And I've shared a lot of friends in the business that a lot of people say their life is like a rainbow, the 7 different colors. But I have experienced gray and black. So I have my life is 9 colors and have a lot more different perspectives. And speaking of litigation, also there's 2 things I'd like to share with everyone. First is I feel really comforted that when the company had issues, my brothers and sisters were wholeheartedly trying to protect the employees as they were in the negotiation with banks. Even when I was sentenced, I was put into custody, my sister still insisted that the remaining asset to be paid for the employees' retirement and severance, try to minimize their impact. The second is gratitude. A lot of the employees they also been sentenced because of litigation, because of this lawsuit, but none of them had any discontent with us. So in the past couple of years, because with my brother's business being successful, he was able to repay a lot of the legal fees, return the legal fees back to them. Now, masters often share that if we have 10, we need to donate 1, not to pursue the other 9. So I've shared with a lot of my friends that letting them know that having enough is enough. And some of my friends, they have joined the Jinsi Entrepreneur retreat, and they have heard from Master sharing in person as well. So when they try to make their company into a publicly traded company, I try to dissuade them out of it. I told them that if there's any problem with it, then it's very easy to be sued. And as the current law saying that if you have more than 100 million in assets, that's a sentence that could be 7 years or more. So as long as your company makes money, you can use that as a dividend for the shareholders, and also take care of your employees and do more for the society. And one of my friends, I heard from the media that he is trying to start a $1 billion development in the middle part of Taiwan. I tried to dissuade him very diligently. I diligently tried to dissuade him, letting him know that as long as you have enough, that's enough. You don't need to use decades of your life. So he later accepted my suggestions and helped a lot of minority groups. So for the years I've been in Tzu Chi, so in the 1980s, during one of the gatherings with other businessmen, I saw one of our friends shared that there is a Buddhist nun had built a hospital in Hualien and needed people to support. So at that time, I said that what the hospital need for food or flour, I will help them, and I'll ask the distributors to provide that to them free of charge. And in 1993, my wife joined the Friends of Tzu Chi organization, and I joined in 1994 when she donated me enough to name me as an honorary board member. When I received the certificate from Master, I felt like I've grew up at that time. For the next couple of years, I joined the first Jingsi experience retreat. And as an honorary board member, I've also participated in a lot of the fundraising activities, all sorts of different activities. I never missed an opportunity. And during one of the retreats in 1995, it started on May 6th. Now, the next year, because I was put into custody, I was unable to make it. It wasn't until 2006 when I finally had the chance to go back again. Now, ever since I joined Tzu Chi, I can see a lot of transformation between my wife and I. Ever since we're young, we had fights nearly on a weekly basis. Now, finally, after being in Tzu Chi for so long, we learn to be accepting of each other. So now we have celebrated our 40th anniversary. And during one of the distribution trip in Indonesia in 2003, the global volunteer director, Stephen Huang, had asked me that where is the Red River within my heart? When he asked me, some image show up on my head. I see the people waking up early in the morning, walking 3 to 4 hours just to receive these goods, and then walk 3 to 4 hours home. So I felt really very bad for them. My heart goes out to these people. So I have thought that how to let these people, that when there's disaster strikes, when there's no electricity, no water, how do we satisfy the basic needs with food? So we came back, after coming back from Taiwan, a lot of us gathered together and discussed it. And we shared with Master, we reported that to Master and started the Tzu Chi International Humanitarian Association. And with the help of the bold masters, we have developed instant rice, instant noodles, as well as developed these recycling blankets that's used widely in around the world. During the South Asia tsunami, I joined with a lot of volunteers in Indonesia for the distribution. So unfortunately, the next year, we had the family incident. So, but I can say that through the years I've been in Tzu Chi, those are not empty years. I felt really solid being a volunteer in Tzu Chi. And throughout these years, there's only 3 times that I couldn't sleep. The first time is when I heard that my sister is sick, and second time is when I could go back temporarily, and the third time is when I know that I'm near my parole. I can finally go home. So, being in Tzu Chi, I had one realization, that is to be loyal to Master and to fulfill Tzu Chi's mission wholeheartedly. So I'd like to share my gratitude for Master for what she has done over the years, as well as my brothers and sisters who have wrote to me. And lastly, I would like to share my gratitude to thank 2 other person. The first one was my mother, who has passed away at 95 years old. During the time when I was in custody, she came every week with preparing meals that I like to eat. And the second one is my wife, because no matter it rains or shine, she never left me and come to see me. So thank you everyone for listening. So as we listen to Brother Lingyi sharing his stories, we followed his emotions. Because of what happened in his family, we all heard a little bit about it through the news. But the one thing we did not know is that his internal struggles and what he has realized. He shared that during that time, that a lot of the sites that a lot of people have visited routinely, he has never had the opportunity to go. And that's somewhat unbelievable. But he kept a very good habit, that is reading. As you see, because he needed to discuss with his employees, he had to read a lot of professional or career-oriented books. And even during the time he was in custody, even he was studying abroad, that he was still reading through the Tzu books, publications, or even listening to calm his heart during those turbulent times. So during that time, he only lost sleep 3 times. So let me invite everyone who had one of these heart cards, please stand up. Our hearts goes out to you, and it's in accordance with you. We offer you our encouragements. Like I shared with the team, that he needed these PowerPoints, but it's my mistake. He didn't need any PowerPoints or any images, because he said honestly that he didn't know how to use a computer, or he didn't really know how to use a smartphone. Instead, he wrote by hand a 18-page handwritten notes, because I told him that our translation team needed a script so they can help translate. I didn't know that he couldn't know how to type. But with sincerity, he wrote these 18 pages by hand. This is an attitude of sincerity, and I feel really touched. And we really wanted to help them to type up these 18 pages so that they could be shared across different platforms. But fortunately, we had some pictures from his participation in Tzu. So when everyone asked me if I have enough to share, and I said that I will follow his pace. So as we know that to share a story in front of a camera live must be a very nervous experience for him. And like he said, he's still shaking right now. So I would like to share to ask everyone, if you have the hearts in your hand, just let's sway gently with the music. And I'd like to let him know that to be calm, because with the broadcast, it's only positive energy that goes out. Even though you couldn't share your full story, but in these 30 minutes, it's enough to touch all of us. And we know that in Tzu, you will always be with us, as well as we'll always be with you. So as we say to his wife, that with everyone's blessing, you will find that calmness and making positive progress. So I would like to invite everyone to join us with this song, that even through the years that you have taught me and nurtured me, so that today I was able to stand right here to share these stories and Dharma lineages to everyone. And through this song, I would like to express our blessings to you, to your wife, your family and friends, and to everyone to live peacefully. And then we asked if you have the opportunity to come to Kaohsiung to join the book club, Now, so that he's not continuously shaking right here, I'd like to ask him to go back and take a seat. Thank you. And I'd like to thank all the team for their participation. So as the entrepreneurs meet Jingsi, let's give them a round of applause for everyone.
So next, we're going to take a look at our weekly summary. So we're going to go through each of the sections that we had last week and give a brief summary of those in kind of a poetic fashion. So these are actually a few summaries shared by various listeners across the world. Not quite into our core summary yet, but just kind of their feedback, their takeaways. So kind of like user submitted or listener submitted. So let's share our gratitude with them. So now we'd like to ask you all. We'd like to ask you all to go through this with us. All right, so the first section was a book guidance led by Sister Yan Yiping, who shared about Tzu Chi's environmental protection over the past 30 years. And then next, there was a call to the U.S., where Tzu Chi's sister Zhang Qiling shared her faithful connection with the Kaohsiung Book Club. And then Vice President Chen Qingyuan of Taidong Tzu Chi Hospital shared his compassion and loving kindness, helping to assist elderly and the sick. Then we had a call to China, where Tzu Chi's sister Wu Huixin has been diligently studying Dharma and practicing it among people. And then next, we had entrepreneurs from Tainan who are paving the communities with love and great equanimity in order to bring harmony to society. Next, we had Sister Lu Jiafen, who is a first grade teacher and who shared her experiences on how to find a way to help a special needs child. And finally, we had Sister Ding Xueyu, who shared that Tzu Chi has been promoting environmental recycling mission for 30 years and teaching everyone to cherish and extend their own life. So let's give our team who writes these summaries a warm round of applause. Thank you to our team. Originally, the team was actually just from the US, but now we have folks from Beijing and Canada as well. So thank you to the entire team. Also, Brother Li Ping has shared some of his feedback for how he feels that these online book studies really bring a lot of positivity to a lot of people around the world. So as you can hear, this response was also kind of in this sort of poetic fashion. And it was actually written just a few moments ago. So thank you to that commenter. And then a sister from Singapore has commented thanking the US team for translating this session today. A 组的美国的翻译团队的赞叹。慈冠师姐呢，泰国的慈冠师姐说，慈冠师姐说，慈冠师姐，你的声音好美，我听得都醉了。师姐用心整理并加入相关影音资料，相得益彰，导读得很棒，好用心。A sister from Thailand also provided a feedback for an earlier speaker, saying that she had such a great voice and really enjoyed her session. And then we have a few other comments from other folks all around the world, listeners all around the world.
Dharma sharing in English on the other side of the earth. 谢谢哈，非常感恩。不晓得您是在哪里的家人，你没有说哈。Andrew， 谢谢。Interesting to know this hotel in Taiwan is so supportive.
And so you're hearing that she's sharing some of the English comments right now.
Advocates of the eco-protection. They also provide 镜子 of a reason book in every room. 对，我们的美伦饭店就是这样子。感恩日本的安野会，你说做环保爱地球哈。那接下来
Thank you also to our sister in Japan. You also left a comment. And so next we're going to have a kind of a video call with family members from around the world. And specifically, these family members are from China, mainland China.
这一群人哈，那我们来看一下。
Let's take a look at this video here.
我们有办法这样做环保吗？
Are we also able to do recycling in this way? So this is in Fujian province, Fuling city. And that's a province in southeast China. So Master really has so many good things to say about this team, about this community. So as your sister Qiling, you can see that she's not just in her own community doing this, but you actually see in this video right here, these little kids are like chanting about protecting the environment. So who is it that's leading these students? Of course, it is our speaker from today, or our speaker who's going to speak today. And she's actually a teacher in this school, and so she guides these kids along with these ideas of environmentalism and encourages them as well as their families to participate in cleaning up their communities. So you can see she's even brought in the elementary school students. And then you saw a lot of our elderly volunteers earlier who are participating in this recycling work. You can see that with where they live, they often have to go up and down the mountain. So it's a lot of hard work. Right here, you can see there are these elderly volunteers. There are 9 of them with an average age of 72. And they all say that, you know, as long as there's recycling work to do, we don't even remember our age. So here they're asking, are you happy doing recycling? And they say, yes, very happy. Are you joyful? Yes, we're very joyful. So you can really see that recycling brings so much happiness and joy. Now, but to protect the earth, of course, we need people to help guide people along, to bring people along. And so today we actually have a lot of videos, but we can't go through each one of them because of time. But we can maybe take a look at this one right here. So this is the sister who's going to be speaking with us today, Sister Yuning. In the past, she had actually been a medical volunteer. And with those experiences, her heart really opened up. And from that, she actually began to do environmental work with Tzu Chi and helped to establish the recycling stations in her community. So you can see that when a person's heart opens, there are limitless possibilities. So today, we don't have just one speaker, but we actually have that speaker as well as a big recycling team, all from Fuding City. So let's give them a warm welcome. So now you can see them on screen. All right, please go ahead. Here, Dharma Master Zheng Yin, masters at the abode, and the Tzu Chi family from all around the world. Hi, everyone. All right, you can start speaking now. Right now, everyone behind me, they're all recycling volunteers, and we're all from Fuding City, and specifically the Taimu Mountain Township. In these 11 years, everyone has used their love and determination to protect this field of blessings that we've created together. And we've gone through so many challenges and obstacles over the years. But in these 11 years, we never gave up. Everyone had so much determination, and despite any difficulty, we would always overcome it and find a solution. From what was once a very small area that was actually a pig pen, we've now expanded to a much larger recycling station. And you can see that each tile and brick that builds this building is filled with the love of the volunteers. And so over time, with the hard work of these volunteers recycling and then even sharing about environmentalism with others, you can see even the development of our volunteers over the years. Slowly, we've begun to share these ideas with communities around us as well. And we can see that these recycling stations are kind of like a spiritual home for our volunteers. And we have brought so many other locals into, brought them hope and inspiration as well. Many people under the accompanying of our volunteers also joined Tzu Chi and have been able to benefit so much from hearing Master's teachings and learning the Dharma. And one by one, we see each person's lives change. There are people who have cancer or have had cancer, who've had depression, who've had people who've lost family members. But despite all of these very challenging circumstances, they've been able to walk out of their darkness and transform their lives. So with every person who's had so much change in their lives, we really have a lot of touching stories. And in fact, here with us today, we have two of our sisters with stories of their own. One of them, or maybe both of them, one of them had cancer and had chemotherapy in, I believe, Shanghai. And the next day when she came back from chemotherapy, she went right back to the recycling station. And she said that, as long as I have the opportunity to give of myself, then I'm not worried about anything at all. And fortunately, now her vitals are actually in stable condition, and she's doing better now. We even have volunteers who aren't able to see anymore, or in other ways have health circumstances, but they also want to contribute to the recycling stations, and so they do whatever they can, and they find that in doing so, they actually improve their health. There are also sisters who have lost, for example, their husbands, or under different circumstances, felt that there's so much suffering, but in joining with the Tzu Chi volunteers, they felt that they had found a larger family, and in this way, they overcame a lot of the suffering that they had internally as well. So really, the recycling stations and Master's teachings, it's like a light in our lives. So no matter how much this recycling station continues to transform or move to different locations, everyone cherishes this field of blessings that we share together, and will continue to guard it and protect it. So there are a number of townships and villages that we've traveled to. So because Fujian is along the coast of China, there's often a lot of trash that accumulates along the coastline. And so in the past few years, or in a number of years, volunteers actually brought a lot of locals along and were able to move many, many tons of trash and clean up the coastlines and recycle a lot of resources. Some volunteers, because of the terrain of that area, sometimes you have to go, for example, partway up a mountain to carry the resources elsewhere to be recycled. And so many volunteers would have to do, for example, many trips back and forth. But these are things that they readily and happily do. Now, there's actually even an island off the coast of China that we've been able to reach out to. It's actually a pretty famous island, well known for its beauty, and that attracts a lot of tourism. And that is a community that we've also traveled to, and whose community we've been able to inspire, and whose locals we've been able to inspire to continue doing recycling work as well. And so they've also been able to clean up their own community and the entire island, despite all the tourism that's there. So you can really see why Master is so touched whenever she speaks with these volunteers from Fujian. So they not only do recycling, but every single day they listen to Master's teachings. And so we see that the Dharma is not only in their hearts, but is truly in their actions and in their lives. Master actually once asked them, how long does it take to make a trip as you're moving recycling materials? And so apparently one trip would take 1 hour. And so you think, yeah, so 1 hour already, it's a very long time, but they're also carrying so many materials, which you can see just how difficult it is. And so we're so grateful for all of them and their determination. Thank you so much. Okay, and next. We actually have 2 activity groups, and every time they bring different activities with us. So sharing a few more comments that we received, praising these volunteers from Fujian. Okay. So let's go into our more physically active section. So let's make the world even better. And to do that, let's be vegetarian. To make the world more beautiful, we should also be adopting a greater vegetarian diet. To make ourselves healthier, that also involves adopting a greater vegetarian diet. Oh my gosh, help! Oh my gosh, my stomach really hurts. And then the grandma says, help my grandson. And then the doctor says, oh, tell me what's going on. Don't be nervous, just slowly tell me. And the doctor asks, how long has it been? So approximately today or so. Earlier today, after eating, it just suddenly started having his stomach started hurting a lot. He didn't even eat that much. He just had 10 of the really, really spicy chicken drumsticks, chicken legs, and 3 big bowls of pork rice, and a few other items, and then 2 more pounds of French fries, and then 2 big cups of Coke. And then also, wait. Was that just from today, or was that from this past week? Oh, if that was for a week, then he would really be losing a lot of weight. That was from 1 meal. And the doctor says, you can't do this. If your grandson eats this much, it's going to be really hard to digest, and it's going to be bad for his health. Oh, are you saying that my grandson has hurt his stomach? And the doctor says, yes. And so they say, oh, what can we do? Doctor says, this grandson is so young, but, he's already in such a bad state. And the grandma says, oh, you have to understand me, like for my grandson and for my kids in general, I feel like, of course, I want them to eat more because I feel like that's better for them. And the doctor says, well, of course not. You have to change your diet. So the grandma says, well, how do I change his diet? And the doctor says, do you want to be healthier? And they say, of course. And the doctor says, then you can't eat too much and you have to eat less fried food. And they say, okay. The doctor says, if you want to be healthy, then you have to be vegetarian. The grandma's like, oh. If he eats vegetarian diet, will he lose a lot of weight? And the doctor says, yeah. And then at the same time, he'll become a lot healthier as well. And so the grandma says, okay, well then maybe we can try going vegetarian as well. And then as you grow up, you can become a doctor, and then your grandma can be a nurse, right? And then doctor says, it's not too hard to adopt a vegetarian diet. It just means taking out the meat in your diet. So not only can we adopt a vegetarian diet, we can also be sure not to overeat and to eat just about 80% full. All right, so now everyone, we're going to do the hand washing song. So everybody please stand up with me. So let's follow along. So turn on the faucet for water, but not too much. Thoroughly wet both hands with water. And before you wash, turn off the faucet so that we can cherish and conserve water. Apply soap, rub your hands together like in a circular motion, and make sure to lather all around your hands and create lots of bubbles. All right, so face your palms towards each other and rub them together. After your palms, then rub the back of your hands. After you're done with your right hand, switch to your left hand, and then interlace your fingers and clean between your fingers. All right, then take the tips of your fingers and rub them against your palm in a circular motion. Don't forget your thumb and the area between your thumb and the index finger. Then turn on the faucet to rinse your hands, but don't turn it on too much. And then cup up some of the water and rinse the handles of the faucet, if reasonable. All right, let's do this together. It's important to maintain personal hygiene and be a positive member to our society. Thoroughly washing your hands will promote health. and it'll also protect yourself, protect others, and help prevent and mitigate diseases and illnesses. All right, so let's cherish every moment of now. All right, so let's follow along with this music. All right, let's do like a chicken dance. Turn the light bulbs and turn around. Let's do it again. Chicken dance. Turn the light bulbs. Just follow along best you can. One more time. Right hand, left hand. Sorry, can't help you guys much here. Just watch the screen and follow along. Alright, this is kind of like Tai Chi that we're doing right here. Alright, and let's clap. All right, so let's be sure to conserve water, conserve electricity, conserve money, conserve gas, and conserve time. All right, and let's all try to adopt a greater vegetarian diet into our diets. All right, thank you everyone. Hope everyone will be safe and healthy. Thank you. Wasn't that fun? Not only can we do a dance, but we can even talk about vegetarianism and helping others. So once again, let's thank our activities team. So because we're in the middle of a pandemic right now, of course we need this hand washing song. And so you can see that we not only have in Siji these these slower and more soothing songs, but also these more active songs. So actually there were a number of comments online for Brother Lingyi, who shared just before this. And a lot of them are encouraging him and expressing their gratitude for sharing his story.
把握时节，深耕心田，广布信实善种，习舍净水和风，拔除恶念，增长善念，让心田日日新，时时新，分分秒秒过新年。安言会后崇拜你哦，你一下子就找出上人的法语来。
This comment was from a sister in Japan. Again, to Brother Lingyi and Sister Meiyun is thanking her and saying that, man, you were able to capture the essence of what he shared so quickly with the essence of Dharma. So thank you. And then we have comments from Canada. We have comments from China, and our volunteers from China are saying, you know, we were so touched and thank you so much. And everyone is responding to these to Facebook with likes and just lots of very, very positive comments. So let's give them another warm round of applause. Yes, let's all continue to do Tsuji together. Just like me, I was someone that was there along your journey as well, and who you brought up as well. So remember, in the future, when it's raining, be sure to hold an umbrella for someone else, just like Brother Lingyi had held up an umbrella for me. So actually, a lot of our entrepreneur volunteers, they all are such diligent volunteers who will come to events and, you know, be at the side, wiping the tables, doing a lot of this kind of tough volunteer work. And, you know, I would look over and be like, isn't that person from that corporation? And so you can really see the spirit that they have, being willing to humble themselves and contribute in this way. All right, and so here you see some comments that I got from Line. All right, and this is for our next speaker.
Hi everyone, this is Liang Lu translating for you. And next we will have Brother Andy Chan. He's a Deputy Director of the Ciji IT Division. So let's see together. And because of our Ciji e-reader, so in our 50th anniversary, there was a coverage. And he is going to share with us later in September. So this is about our study group using this Ciji e-reader. So we were trying to promoting the reading through using the e-reader. So in about 7 years ago, we were using the ebook reader together to promote the study group using our Ciji ebook reader. So this is from Ciji Kaohsiung, where this study group is based on.
连续我们其实在这个部分，我们其实是做了3年哈。那因为电子书要邀约，除了传法之外，我们是邀约大家一起来。
So we really encourage everybody to join us.
所以呢，我们连续3年，我们的视讯半年就跟电子书有了连接哦。
So for 3 years, we in the Happy New Year greeting to Master, we use the ebook as a theme.
一个相遇，我们都非常的珍惜哈。其实任何事物，我们都要接受、面对、处理、放下。电子书的未来还是有它另外的一番。
Yeah, this is our Ciji ebook.
那时候带着蛮好的所有的电子。
Yeah, we encourage everyone to join us to read Ciji books or magazines through this ebook reader.
我们本来没有够。2016年的慈济人文资讯，大家看一下哈，林军主任呢，他们就是这样子的一个马不停蹄，然后每一年的时候都会去做。
So actually, Brother Andy actually also helped promoting this ebook reader. So if you can share with us how you feel about this e-reader, then we can help to improve these readers.
今年会不会用不同的方式来走入人群呢？那林军主任有没有来过？有。
Actually, Brother Andy also shared once in our study group last year.
出现，我们来回顾一下他来的时候呢，他到底呢讲什么主题，然后又看到了什么？他看到了我们大社跨区团队那一次，所以呢，他也觉得说，哇，这个读书会。
So at that time, he likes this study group very much.
在这样的一个当下，他写了一个顺口溜哈。那一次他来就是一直击上。
人生无常跟如常两个事，你要怎么把握？每天在无常里面生活，你就可以恒持如常。
所以呢，非常的感恩。
So let's welcome Brother Andy Chen, our Deputy Director of the Ciji IT group. Let's give him a big applause.
阿德口罩可以那个大家。我跟你讲，我认识阿德比林军还要早，因为那时候
Ader is also a team member in our IT division.
对他们很好，他们也对我们很好。为什么？因为对这些视听人员不太好，你等一下麦克风就会消音，不太好。好，那阿德没有这样的一个状况，后来他就是在我们的资讯处这边，然后所以我每次去营队的时候，就为什么阿德不见了？后来竟然是在金色遇见了阿德，所以我真的非常的开心。
He was saying that has a good ability with Brother Ader.
在前台，所以主场的。表现专注一点，因为长官来看我们，好不好？没有啦，所以我们非常的感恩哈。
So we are so grateful that we will get to see more about Master and how this happened because of the IT group. Dear Master, Master in the abode, sisters and brothers.
所以明老师要找我线上的资料不太好找，真的非常。
真的。
Usually we don't speak publicly.
我这边有个小小的请求，就是以后不要再把我排在洗手歌后面，因为那个就是明显就是洗脑歌。我现在完全忘记我要报什么。
Next time, please don't arrange me after a hyper activity program. Because I forgot what I want to share. I learned a lot in last time when I came here. And I share with our team that how the team work together so harmoniously. So I was suggesting that there should be a footage on how the team work.
落实结束，今年就要全新接受新的一套。可见高雄读书会真的是。
So it was surprising to me that how this team actually evolved themselves, even under the COVID-19, that we need to make a lot of changes. So we were discussing how we can make this become an online program.
以前有小小的一些，比如说阿明师兄啊，等，在做一些线上的一些互动，有高雄慈济高雄等，脸书的频道。可是真实的来讲，慈济没有正式的在线上做推播，都是一些我们称之为民间的自发性的工作。那所以慈济现在今年也开始要走向这个领域，那我们就必须要到各地取经。那高雄线上读书会就是我们第一站，就是要来学习怎么做这件事，因为我知道大家做的真的非常的好。那更听到说利昂师兄，因为利昂师兄是我2007年前在美国的时候的一个太好的一个师兄，我的母鸡芝加哥的雅美师姐现在应该也在线上哦。那他昨天晚上4点钟还 line 我，所以我就赶快回他说，今天我会在高雄来跟大家互相讨论，不是分享，是互相讨论，真的是来跟大家来学习的。那我要先做一个工商时间啊，因为刚才有讲到电子书，大家都知道读书文法重要的是心法，不是工具。那当初推电子书的工具的时候，真的是很辛苦。那上人非常的坚持。其实我每年都问上人还要推吗？还要推吗？
It has been hard promoting the ebook, 慈济 ebook.
那个时候的契机才能造成今天的成果，就像30年前的一个契机造成了今天的环保。
So even though it's hard, Master said that we should continue pushing for the e-readers, 慈济 e-readers.
如果当时没有坚持，不会有读书会这件事。
So without this e-reader, probably we will not have this the online book club study group
非常重要
either.
启动了一个什么东西？读书会啊。
Yeah, because of the 慈济 e-book reader that we have many study group.
因为明年55周年要入经藏，所以你们要来成立读书会，没有这个需要，因为你们每天都在读书会里面。那电子书它是一个产品，一定有生命周期，所以我们电子书整体平台呢，在今年实际营运的电子书就会走入。
For some reason that the 慈济 ebook reader will stop production, and that so we will be continue the ebook program, including all the books you purchased or free books. You will still be able to read a commercial ebook reader called High Read Gates. And then very soon that we will tell you that when this program is available.
甚至于现在有一个定名叫做上人的云端行脚。
So you must have heard about a program that Master Chen Yan will be visiting 慈济 establishment around the world. So we need to rely on technology to make this platform possible for everyone interested.
被我们一直挡下来，不行，那个时候正紧张的时候，千万不行。其实上人想要出来。
So in March, actually, Master Chen Yan would like to go out and then visiting different 慈济 establishment around Taiwan. But we told Master that no, it's not a good time to do that because of the COVID-19. So one day, Master Chen Yan called me into her meeting room, and then he told me about that even in the IT team, you need to have the Zhiji spirit of the bundling string set. That's which is used to bundle many Chinese tamale together. Right. So, and to me, that reminds me that we can apply this spirit to the IT infrastructure. So basically, that you can think of the bundler string set that they had as the speaker, and the knob of this bundler as our machine, the host machine, and through the internet wire that reach to all the people who are interested. Ever since July, we are able to push out many cloud meetings with Master Chen Yan from around the world.
对不对？他应该有很多的铁粉，对不对？现在这都是网络术语，有很多，那他要圈更多的粉进来，对不对？所以要怎么样去营运这样的原来他后面有这么多的菩萨。
So how do you establish such a cloud platform on the internet?
像的一个像熏法像一样单方向的出去，而是要能够互动。
So we would like to establish such a platform so that all the interested disciples or volunteer who are able to meet with Master Chen Yan real time.
活动都非常非常的小，因为疫情的关系。那我们就把在金色
So, for example, that in the Buddha Day, we were able to make this event broadcast globally. So Master said that yesterday, July 6, 2020, was an historical moment. There were some 30 volunteers gathering in the abode. It is for 2020 Tzu Global Leadership Seminar. There are more than 10,000 volunteers registered in the seminar. Yeah, so they are online remotely from many different countries through the internet. And because of the COVID-19, participants' physical gathering in the abode cannot be more than that number. So due to the regulation, so however, through this platform, more than 10,000 participants met together at the same time, listening to the same talks. It's called the Cloud Dharma Assembly. That's what Master Chen Yan said. So we through a few seminar, we established some experiences. So even some interactive program was able to carry out in such a platform. For example, we have breakout groups in different camp or retreats, right? How do you do that? Think about that.
等一下会有画面给大家看。好，在全球四合一的时候，这个是全球四合一的简报。大灾难的因缘啊，就是我们现在实际称之为大灾教育。
It says that because of the COVID-19, many lessons are learned, and using technology, we enable the many volunteers as if they have the spiritual eyes that sees afar, and the spiritual eyes, ears that hears without obstruction, and then spiritual feeds that go without borders. So by one click, it brings us all together, learn together, and rejoice together. And that's actually what what this book club, this study group has achieved. So I observed that
不知道是你们的中控台的原因还是操作的关系。一般我们在金社如果有外点的人在报告简报的时候，我们会有那叫什么？就会它中间会有另外一个小小的格子。比如说光中师兄刚才在报告的时候，那我们的右下角就会有他的现场的格子，这样在我们现场的人就会看到光中师兄的，因为我们知道在手机上，因为阿德刚才马上检查了。手机上面他可以看到光中师兄的现场画面，可是我们现场人反而看不到，对不对？所以在上人的现场，我们有做到
So this is just sharing about a technology. It can divide the screen into to mix real time from the remote side and also the view from the local side. So that's something that we can also learn.
那这一次呢，就已经有很多人代表说，其实海外的慈济人都非常的善用科技，都
we realize that actually that a lot of volunteer from different countries, they can pick up this technology very quickly.
对，所以代表说有更多人。自从开放之后，有更多人已经在加入，所以我也相信高雄线上读书会现在是9000，可能很快就要破万。
So even for this study group, I believe that you will be able to grow very quickly because of the online presence.
就有76个人，就单香港在海外4合1的营队里面，所以它是远远比我们一个进师堂能够
For example, in
很多，所以我们要想象。
even a single place can accommodate many people.
那你有经营过一个9000人的营队在高雄金师堂里面吗？根本塞不下，所以这个真的是一个佛法显神通的时代。
So it allows us to squeeze in 9,000 people in the Kaohsiung Jinsi Hall. It's physically impossible, but because of this technology, we are able to do that.
以前只有前面一排的人比较看得见，那后面就看不见。那现在每个人都
And the other thing was that everybody will be able to see the vision or see the video or master as you're standing in front of her. Right.
好，我刚才说了，美云老师是网红，我们常住师父这一次也开始做网红。
And actually, because of this platform, our masters in abode become internet celebrities. They have a lot more. They become the internet celebrity, but actually it was because of their mission. They want to promote 慈济。
也可以啦，如果你问我的话。我们星期一才在讨论金社要不要设立直播间。
And we were discussing about that whether we should have a live cast rooms like that.
大家如果有经验，因为美云老师这边的团队也是蛮辛苦，因为我看到还有在阁楼上面的，所以也是。
So actually, we have limited space.
要怎么去规划很好的空间？可你知道我们在海外4合1饮一杯智慧水的时候。我们的直播间长怎样？
Look at that. This is our live cast rooms. We're using our dining room, and then every master can talk to a separate group of sister brothers from different countries. Yeah, this is our dining room.
上人的吃饭的桌子前面可以放
So there are about 50 masters. Each was leading a smaller group. So they are able to ask questions, and then masters can answer their question.
9000个人除下来就是450，你根本找不到这么多位常住师父，好不好？所以他的能量跟他的规划就完全不一样了。所以那个时候呢，海外适合营队，我们首次云端饮水就暂时先这样安排。当然效果不尽理想，所以我说这个我们还要一起来规划，怎么样能够有更好的效果，
So there are room for improvement.
来跟学员们在线上
So we make it more live and interactive.
整个网络神通，上人的云端行脚做到极致啊。好，最后呢就是我们现在今年
Now we want to talk about cultivate compassion and then wisdom through this digital transformation.
开始走向科技，拥抱科技。那慈悲智慧双修这件事呢，从这一次的疫情，所以我们的学校的老师开始要远距教育。
Here, because of the COVID-19, that many teachers now leverage the remote instructions.
上个礼拜在谈，我们跟台北的学校，因为我们有派慈济的教育的老师去台北的学校现在也是用远距教学。
So more and more things are now carried online, that make a lot of operation a lot more efficient.
我要看这边，从一个简单的互动式的教学，那开始变成远距教学。然后呢，有一个良好的环境跟规划之后，它可以做成一个有智慧、有评量。
So we can further improve this so that this is can achieve a lot of teachings goals through the feedback, more interactive feedbacks.
那再来就是慈善科技要转型，上人已经开始在做云端的行脚。
And also, we also can empower our charities through technologies.
现在开始要做这件事情，其实跟外面的社会的业界有一段距离，可是我们要迎头赶上。
Yeah, we are a bit behind in this digital transformation, but I think as long as our method, our direction is correct, we should be able to take over and then transform our operation to the newer cloud platform.
因为在使用电子书的过程里面，高雄的团队一直是最努力的一群人。那虽然我们后来在去年统计，从电子书转移到手机 APP 捐款这件事情，高雄的比例是略低的。可是它的原因是因为里面有太多人在用电子书，还在用电子书。事实上，我要出门前才问了秦师傅，秦师傅说手上还有好几百本的电子书，他希望能够物尽其用，用到所有的设备的最后一刻。
Yeah, so now we are trying to
跟时间跟因缘，它都是要相配合在一起，并没有说哪个一定好，哪个一定不好。如果各位还记得
converting our
电子书的时候，上人
the function of the ebook
不准用脸书，你们还记得这个故事跟因缘吗？很多人都不知道这个故事了，都忘了，因为它就是一个历史的演进。那个时候上人说，大家都在滑手机。
Originally,
的事情都在上脸书。
Master was instructing that we should not use Facebook because it has consumed so much our precious time. But now it's gradually changing. because it's actually a good platform that, like we use Facebook for this live broadcast.
那你们在经营直播这个公司有没有把持慈济人的诚正信实？尽量不好的不要做。他说不好的当然不能做啊。所以只要我们用爱心、用慈济的观念去影响了一个实业家，即使现在高科技的在做直播的公司，它也是可以循规蹈矩的。
So as long as we use the technology properly, then it could be a big advantage in promoting what we want to promote.
就开始进行了所谓的师徒空中相会。
And actually, we have different aspects of the digital transformation. In January, we have the virtual meeting with a master. In February, global online seminar started. And then in March, the virtual meet platform to synchronize the whole world. And then in April, we have the virtual ceremony on the Tzu Chi anniversary, and in May, the Buddha Day celebration. And in May, we also have different nation seminars promoted around the world.
所以转型线上读书会啊，这个已经成型了。各位请看，那在来之前呢，我特别跟师父讨论，尤其是高雄线上读书会，我们要学习的经验是前面这3个。
So basically, for the online study group, the transformations, we can attract the new participants through this the social media platform, and then we also can use this technology to reach out more and then reach out faster.
你看我今天要来的时候，美云老师就一直发说，你的亲朋好友赶快邀上来啊，就是未上线者。
So
那线上跟现场，我们称之为线下。你要让他感受如临现场。
So how do you make the online study group as if it's physically present, so people can engage with the study group.
我们会发觉哇，我们的营队事实上做的比以前更大、更远、更广。当然需要重新规划跟想这件事情要怎么做。那更重要的是，我们的营队结束之后。
Also, we would like to simplify the mechanism to receive and then recording participants' feedback, and also that we can enable the improvements based on the participants' feedback.
我真的没有按到它。好，从回馈里面找出下个因缘点。所以就会有源源不绝的因缘一直在。
So because of the feedback, we can continue improving our program.
立阳师兄现在在线上帮我做英文翻译一样，那个就是20-30年前以前的因缘，就这样又串了起来。所以这样的一个经营的心法，就可以让一个读书会一直很蓬勃的走下去。那贯穿了慈济的这个法门。
So how do you pin through the different 慈济 Dharma doors? And how do you uphold Tzu Chi Dharma essence? And here,
实际是表象，那实际成就的是佛陀是上人告诉我们内心的心法。
we want to either through online or offline. We would like to spread the Dharma so that it can reach out to the people to bring the peace and joy to people.
特别的故事哦，大家如果那一天有参加过成语，应该看过上人讲大慈一切众生乐。
So this is a master's teaching on July this year. That it says, great kindness gives joy to all living beings. Great compassion relieves suffering from all living beings. And great intelligence tells different phenomena, and great wisdom sees through the equanimity and brings blessing to all. So in Ci Ji, we wear the same uniforms. Everybody are equal. So finally, we can all be a bodhisattva, which can bring blessing and then bring wisdom to all sentient beings. So this is my sharing. Thank you so much.
非常的感恩了。有时候有演戏的时候，我们会触动三机。你看，我现在比较先进，对不对？
对，你今年真的比较先进。
是，但是呢，非常感恩他其实提醒了我们一点，因为我们的投影机这样。
So actually, Brother Andy reminds us one thing, that how we can integrate the different camera together.
我跟2位在这里还是长官报告一下，就是所谓的9000人是一个 Telegram。Telegram 它竟然，我因为这一次新马团队他们习惯用 Telegram， 所以我们 Telegram 1000多人，竟然可以20万人在里面。
So,
对，我也是听到才。
actually, through Telegram, that you can broadcast further out to much more.
加到现在第7个微信。那 LINE 群组以前只能200个人就要加，所以为什么 LINE 会是8个？所以总共加起来是9000人在这里，可以同时我们在讲的时候已经即时在报道了，并且你讲完简报已经出去了，是这种快速。但实际上我们现场加上大陆现在在看的人，再加之后的回播，每周目前平均是1万人。
Actually, we are now reaching more than 10,000 people every week.
就是我们本来想小小的100人次我们就满足了。就没想到平均上去看的人次，包括回播，其实有300-500人。
So it's quite amazing.
2位长官还可以吗？可以吗？
可以，我们很多地方要学习。
没有，就是在这边。所以呢，现在为了展现诚意，所以你直接，我刚才在问那个这个 JF 从哪里？他是 Join from the test， 德州来的。接下来你念好了，你眼睛可以看得清楚吗？
Okay, this is a feedback.
The line of umbrellas really demonstrated the thoughtfulness of Ci Ji volunteer, treating everyone like their family member. 就是大家都像是一家人一样。是的，其实我们不管线上线下，就是要这么的和蔼，这么的相亲相爱，把它变成。
Actually, we should treating each other like a family.
是用报告，2007年的时候刚好。想不到台湾有这么多的变故，那我是2007年才来美国。
2007, I came back to Taiwan because the invitation from Master.
我觉得四海都是一家。
为什么它结束是吧？它是因为大家可能有没有扫晶片卡，跟它就有关系。
美国2007年回来第一个案子，各位身上别的卡片是我们做的第一个。
Yeah,
这些都是高人。
Your name card is actually the first project I did that including a IC chip.
好，来，你，OK, you, OK.
Andrew Lim, 感恩 Brother Wang for his amazing sharing， 就是感恩王师兄 ，and very touching by his steadfastness and wisdom， 就是你的智慧妙如珠，也感动很多的人。
是哦，所以师兄你看咯，从我们的雨伞这个一个部分去衍生情，在这边对你非常多的一个
the feedback is actually
那我等一下有空的时候再念下面的。那我们
has a lot of good feedback for Father Wang Lingyi's sharing.
我们直接到教育现场哈。那7、8月的情跟福田主题月就是来教育现场，但是给我一点点时间哈。教育现场先。我一定要讲这个。 大家看一下我简报的画面有没有净丝豆浆粉，还有呢会变成这样优格。非常感恩秦师傅。
And this is a new product from 金丝bowl.
非工商的广告。
It's soy milk powder, and you can use this to make soy yogurt. See how this is done. 3 big teaspoons. And it comes with the probiotic powder. So first, add hot water, mix them together. And then you add the probiotic powder. And then cover it up. And if you can put it under the sun. Or you can use a rice cooker and to keep it warm for 2. So you heat it for 2 minutes with the rice cooker for 2 minutes, and then you turn off the power. Right. 给你，所以一定要在我们的群组嘛。你在群组，这所有的一切都会给你。那大陆的没办法看 YouTube， 我们会转成影音直接给你哦。很重要的就是不要把它盖全部满，就是要有洞，要有洞，掉过去才会死掉。哇，就是这样子哈，完成。我因为这一波的关系，我开始了。往全素来努力，所以牛奶就不喝，所以我每天就喝我们家的豆浆，每天哦，然后就觉得很幸福。那师父那一天在讲说做成豆浆优格这个部分，原来是这样。然后另一师兄说这样子好好喝，所以我们一并掌声感恩这样的好姻缘，好不好？所以净式豆浆粉益生菌介绍给你。好，接下来老师请。
好，亲爱的上人、金色师父，还有所有的慈济家人，大家好，我是郑姐。好，那接在资讯
Here is our monthly topic. Hi everybody, Master. My name is Zheng Jing.
那我的学校呢是一个私立的高职。
After I feel pressure because my topic is right after information system. And now today I'm talking about education. I work at a vocational school. This is what my daily life is. Busy, crowded. Everything happened at school just like these cars. At vocational school, even though the declining birth rate, there are not too many students, but we still have pressure. We have pressure of finding new students. Every day after work, I'm just so tired and don't have much energy. But I still have to get up and prepare my material for tomorrow. I'm sure everybody's phone has this line. I'm scared of this sound. You know why? Ever since people start using cell phone 24/7, I am always awake by any messages. The first thing when I wake up, when I check my line, there's so many messages. One of my students, his name is Xiaohei. I'm afraid, always nervous to see his message. He always say, teacher.
反正这个赖来赖去，一来一回呢，半天也解决不了问题。所以如果是上学时间，我
He only texts teacher. That's it, and there's no any other message.
然后我在跟他沟通的过程里面，我才发现，我跟他讲
So back and forth is really take a lot of my time just to check these messages.
所以这个孩子他在沟通表达能力上面呢，就是让我觉得
When I communicate with him, I found out he has an attention deficit. He only remembers few words that I told him. During our conversation, maybe take 5 minutes, but he only remembers few of them. Sometimes we do have a camping activities.
果然别组都快煮完了，然后我走过去，他问我说：“老师，这个红萝卜到底是要切丝还是要切片呢？” 然后我就
He would join us for the camping activity.
随便切就好。好，然后呢，我就看一下。
And when rest of the students are complete their cooking, he is still cutting the carrots, and he just wants more comments from me. And I'm telling him, you don't have to be so neat and complete. This is just the camping.
然后那个米洗回来了，要加水，水在哪里？好，然后这个水来了，要加盖子，盖子在哪里？反正呢，就是孩子都不知道。
During the camping activity, I realized a lot of people they don't know a lot of things, like they don't know how to add water when cooking rice, or they don't know how to prepare a dish properly. And a lot of people say, "Where's Xiaohei? Where's Xiaohei?" When the meal is ready, Xiaohei came with sweat. During this meal preparation time, he went to take shower. His reason was because everybody's so busy, so later it's going to be a lot of people taking showers, so I'm taking my time now. So I talked to him patiently that, okay, later when everybody finish eating, you can have washing dishes. I thought this incident's over, but later I found out that he went back and told his parents that I got bullied. So this is the story from Xiaohei. There's another story. This is a blowfish. This is a nickname for students. He's a transfer student from other school. And during the school year, she kept gaining weight, and then she sometimes disappeared from classroom. Couldn't find her. So if I just see her in the classroom, I will run downstairs, go look for her. And then if I don't see her anywhere in the campus, I ask other students, go look around. Next day, she came to classroom and we asked her, where were you yesterday? And she said, oh, I fell asleep in the restroom. And her mom called me and said, her grade is declining. Can you help with her grade? And of course, I do my best to help her to catch up her grade. During the pandemic time, I got a message from her. She said, teacher, I feel like I'm getting a fever. And I was so nervous, I asked her to go see doctor to check her temperature. And I started to call her mom. And when I call her mom, doesn't sound like her mom at all. I say, who are you? The person at the other end hang up the phone. So finally, I find another phone number that belongs to her mom. find out that she just want to sleep, so she gave her her fake number. Sometimes I got a phone call that somebody claimed that our students stole their umbrella. Who will steal umbrella nowadays, I wonder? I got a claim say, and I found out this is my student Blowfish who borrowed the umbrella. Blowfish say, "Oh, I just borrowed it because it was raining." There's so many stories about this student Blowfish. Sometimes there's a mistake, like there's a bank statement that I see the numbers incorrect, so I've been calling the bank back and forth and find out it was a mistake from my student. So everything is challenge at school. I feel like I'm pushing the rock toward the mountain. Sometimes I feel like my heart is broken in half. Should I keep going or should I give up? And I ask myself, why do I want to be a teacher? Why do I want to persist? Being an educator, I thought about the master teachers. Teach with propriety, educate with virtue. Master saying, now the education is very hard and there are many hardships. It's because all this hardship that we all have to get together and help and rescue the education system. In this society, we feel like if we keep doing this, how our children is going to be one day. You do have children, but I don't. But everybody's children is my children. I want to make this society peaceful and safe. It all depends on human. If there's not a good direction, our society will be unstable. Let me believe that education can make an appropriate person the positive energy of the reading club as the process of redeeming students, also redeem myself, because we all have positive energy, and that's why I want to be with you. Everybody, all the story that I learned from this book club gave me energy and keep me still staying, being a teacher and help my students. This Saturday, there's a good thing happening. What is it?
We have a veggie fiesta coming this year, starting from last year. It's fiesta actually is try to continue from last year's veggie fiesta so that more people can recognize the abundance of the veggie food and the variety also. And we want to work together with the local business so that there will be no trace. The picnic will be no trace. So you need to prepare your only utensil. So we will not use disposable utensil either. So we will not give the earth any more burden. So you can bring all your friends, young or old. Starting from 2 p.m., you have a lecture about how to make your lives comfortable using the vegetable food. And then after 5, there's a market. Mr. Wang will be the speaker for our lecture. He is an engineer. And the second one is the Go Vegan, Bai Long and Xiao Su. They are actually internet celebrity, and they are actually full vegan. They have a very interesting subject to tell you. From 5 p.m. to 8, we will have a very variety market, almost 30 booths of many good food that will feed you up. At the same time, we will have many music and singers. A real strong cast is waiting for you to come. Okay, so remember, August 16th, bring your own utensil. Come to join us. We have a small promotion here. There's 3 steps. You can actually join the bonus swap and wear your nice casual suit, but make sure to bring your mask also. Number 3, bring your own utensil to love the earth. I thought we only have 3 steps because it's very important, so we add another one. There will be a lecture about how to make a comfortable lifestyle in the veggie food. So the Kaohsiung Veggie Fiesta Summer Carnival welcome you. Thank you. If you joined us last year, we welcome you to join this time. You must come this time because we are also improving the environmental protection. So internally and externally, we must also do environmental protection at the same time. Not only we care for our own health, we will have very good for the society too. Everything we use, even the toilet paper, and this is a very good quality. So if you come, you can have one as a gift. So all the 30 booths, they will not provide any disposable utensils. So make sure bring out all your big utensil or small utensil to the booth. And you have something for you to rent also, or you can buy in our book cafe. and you can enjoy many music and singing also. So it's good for everybody to come together. Welcome you to join us this fiesta, Veggie Fiesta, August 16th. Thank you. Yes, our 进师 drum team welcome you to join us. Yesterday, our team in Indonesia appreciate a lot to us. Yeah, we also show you about the soybean powder. It's very good. You can do a yogurt too. Next time, we are going to have the vice president in United States, and we will have Li Dingnan, who is Li Diming's brother. And August 26th will be Chinese medicine doctor. He is so young, but he's very good. And our educational CEO, Wang will come also. September 9 will be Amin, and also another Chinese medicine doctor. So every Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock, welcome to come to do the advanced study to draw closer to Master. So there's another comment from the English team. So we thank you, the A group of interpreting. So complete and so energized, very emotional. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please stand up. We have 3 bows to the Buddha.